For those of you who've been into liquid cooling for a long time, you're used to your components coming kind of in a plain cardboard box, but EK is actually doing packaging these days, and it shows you that, it's becoming more mainstream. There's more attention to detail as far as that goes. Now, I do want to say something about EK. I've worked with several EK components over the years, and there's a certain refinement to them that really goes above and beyond what we see from other companies, and that continues with the Supremacy EVO. Now, the EVO itself, really cool looking CPU block, as you see here. This is a clear top, but the EVO is really a chameleon. It comes in more different variations than I've seen from any other CPU block. First off, as far as materials go, you can get, the base is always going to be pure copper, highest quality, but it comes nickel plated, as you see here. It also comes gold plated, or you can buy it in bare copper. As far as tops go, you see you've got the glass acrylic clear top here, but also you can get acetal in black. You can also get a nickel top with or without the original EK swirly logo throughout the top in the black, clear, or nickel plated. Now, also, as far as colors go, you can get white, green, blue, or red in a flat top. So really just about anything to suit the needs of what you're looking to do as far as aesthetics. Really fabulous looking piece, and like I say, a total chameleon. Really great as far as that goes. The other thing being the clear tops do have the 3mm openings for LEDs, so you can get some lighting in there if you like, and change it to any color you like through lighting. So good stuff going on. Now, the EVO, of course, fits current AMD sockets, the AM2, AM3, FM1, FM2, as well as all the current Intel sockets, 2011, 1150 series, including 1151. 775, 1366, so you get it all the way around as far as there. Totally tool-free mounting. Now, the design of the EVO itself, we're going to get a closer look at, because it is a little bit more complex than what we've been seeing from CPU cooling blocks recently. Now, taking a closer look at the Supremacy EVO, as you can see, you've got, on this particular unit, the clear top, could be black, could be silver colored, as we said. You do have a dedicated in and out port, and there's a reason for that. The in port is, you can see here through the clear top, there's a channel right here. When the liquid goes in, it actually comes down through the channel and through the jet plate, centering the liquid on the hottest point of the CPU itself. That's why you have the different inserts and the different jet plates, which is going to spread out or minimize the flow of liquid depending on the size of the hot point of the particular CPU. EK logo right here. So you've got in, out, G1/4, of course. It is a sandwich design. Top goes on top of the retaining bracket, which then goes on top of the cold plate that you see right here. Cold plate, beautiful polished nickel finish, as you see. Sorry about the fingerprint on there. And held together with 4 screws, which are Allen keyed. Allen key comes with it to take it apart, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Take a look at the inside. Yeah, just a quick look at the included accessories before we head inside. Installation manual, as you see, well illustrated, very, very simple install, all tool free. Everything you need comes with it. One of the things you do want to be very cognizant of is this little chart right here in step 2. Which tells you what insert and what jet plate to use for the particular CPU you're using. Today we're doing an LGA-115 series, so we're going to be using insert 1 with jet plate 2, which actually comes pre-assembled from the factory. So put that away. Tool-free installation kit, simple retaining brackets, or I should say standoffs with springs and caps, and we're going to take a look at how that goes in. You also get your additional jet plates right here, as well as the insert. Now I'm going to actually take it apart from the top. Typically you take it apart from the back, popping the top off. As you see, your insert is right inside, and that is insert 1. And taking a look at that, you can see, and we've got a couple drops of water in there still from testing, that insert 1 actually has a narrower opening than insert 2, which is used for AMD and larger, physically larger Intel CPUs. Goes down through the jet plate. Like I was saying, water comes down, is forced through here, through the jet plate, and through the microchannels from the center, so that the liquid is at the hottest point of the CPU and then is spread out around the sides to come back to your reservoir through your loop. So really beautiful, interesting design. As far as reassembly, very, very simple. Jet plate snaps right back into place on the insert. Top insert piece only goes in one way. It's very, very evident. which way it goes, as you see here, back into the top. Make sure you've got your in to your in, which is right here. Back together just that simply. The retention plate is interchangeable, asymmetrical. Now, when putting it back on, you do need to make sure that your jet plate is perpendicular to the microchannels and just goes right back on. Rubber grommet is already on there, as you see. Make sure it's still in place. Drop it right on, put your 4 screws back in, and you're good to go. Now, one thing I do want to mention, it is an acrylic glass top on the clear. With that, you want to be very, very careful. You just want to snug it up. You don't want to over tighten or you will crack the acrylic. So really, really nice design here from EK Waterblocks. As I said, really goes the distance inside as far as designing it to cool and to cool exactly the CPU that it's going on. Now, as far as installation, first step whether you're doing AMD or Intel is going to be installing the backplate. If you're doing 2011, of course, backplate's already there, and you're just going to follow along from the next step. The backplate will go with the lip out away from the motherboard. You see there's a distinct lip that goes away from the motherboard with the rubber grommet gasket going towards the motherboard, against the motherboard. So bring that back into place. Then take your standoff. As you can see, I've put the washer on. Very, very important. Don't forget the washer. You don't want to be grounding at your motherboard. That will go through. And you're simply going to screw into the backplate, into the appropriate screw hole for the CPU socket you're going to be using. And of course you want to do all 4, and these are just hand tightened, no tools necessary here. You don't want to over tighten, just want them hand tight and snug. With 4 standoffs in place, I've gone ahead and I've already applied the thermal interface material right to the CPU itself, same as you would with any heatsink, about the size of 2 grains of rice. And we're just going to drop the block into place. 4 springs will go over, and the cap goes over each spring. You just want to give it, each one, just enough to get it started and hold it in place. And then you'll go around and tighten up. Now the tightening process, just like with any CPU cooler, work in an X pattern. Give it a couple turns, then across, go under, just a couple of turns, then over the other side, and repeat until each is fully tightened. They do have stops, so when you feel the stop, just stop turning. Really super easy install. EK did a very nice job with this install kit. And once we're in place, we're going to give a test. As you can see, we've got it hooked up to some quick disconnects. For a test unit, we're using a simple Swiftech H220X, which Performance PCs is actually outfitted for us with some quick disconnects, as well as an inline temperature sensor. So we're going to be able to get the delta of the liquid temperature to the CPU temperature, which of course is going to be our most important reading, far more important than ambient, as that is not going to be affected by outside sources, and it's going to show the performance of the block itself. Now, taking a look at the numbers, the really important number here to be concerned with is the top number, which is the liquid to core delta. You've got the liquid and the core temps laid out there as well, but the delta is actually showing you what the CPU block is actually doing. Now, taking a look, EK promised that we were going to see improved performance with the Supremacy EVO, and we certainly are. The EVO outpaces absolutely everything in our testing. Good degree and a half better than the Swiftech Apogee XL, and going down from there, even more improvement. So definitely a great showing from the Supremacy EVO on the 4770K with the overclock. Start to finish through our testing and features and whatnot, I couldn't be any more impressed with what we got from the EK-Supremacy EVO. First off, you've got, like I said, chameleon-like quality. It's going to be configuration to suit just about any need you could possibly imagine as far as aesthetics and as far as materials for the loop. Cooling, second to none. You know, CPU blocks are measured really in just, you know, usually fractions of a degree, and that's what we're seeing here. You know, 1.4 degrees better than the Swiftech Apogee XL, which is an excellent block in its own right, but still an improvement. Very, very low restriction design. Absolutely love the fact that it's modular. You can configure it to match up with whatever CPU you're using and really tweak it to get the best performance possible on your particular CPU. You know, it's not a one-size-fits-all like the other blocks we've been seeing. So, you know, you really have that going for you. EK went above and beyond as far as it goes, you know, with this CPU block in absolutely every respect. Like I said, the refinement, the fit, finish is absolutely perfect. You've got the color matching, you've got the CPU matching, and the price point, you know, is right there in line with CPU blocks in its class, but it offers you a lot more. With that said, I'm going to give the EK-Supremacy EVO a High-Tech Legion Editor's Choice Award, and it is absolutely going to be your go-to block if you're putting together a new loop. There's really nowhere else to turn for a top-of-the-line block that's going to do exactly what you want it to do.